Hey gang, how are ya? We're on another walk today at Mount Carmel Cemetery. Today we're going to walk towards the grave of one of our subscribers' family members. Their family, actually, their descendants from Italy. And as we go, we will look at some gravestones and some pictures. These are larger porcelains. Isn't it amazing how clear the image is after all of these years? Died 1929. So almost 100 years these pictures here continue to endure. Unless they're hit by a rock from the lawnmowers. We were here last year in the winter. This particular part of the cemetery we'll recognize, and I'll put the link in. This is the grave of Peter Mutter, who was a hero in the Iroquois theater fire. And you can go to that video to get the whole story on Peter. He's a fireman who ended up killing himself. Kind of a sad story. It's a windy, gray day. The rain just moved out. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad. As we make our way to the north, child here, maybe a year, less than a year old. Parents. Passed in 1953. Come from this side here. Giovanna passed in 1929. There's a stunning statue up here of the crowned Virgin Mary. Take a look. What a beautiful statue. Her name is Bridget Battles. Died March 17th, 1908. 65 years old. Now that is just beautiful. Couple of interesting stones here. Tui, Raymond F. and Helen J. Here's one of these metal, which seems to really endure. Frank Dow, 56 years old, passed in 1903. He is here by himself, it looks like. You see this sometimes, where the preparations are made for the rest of the family. And sadly, they are elsewhere. Gallucci and Anna. Both, well, not old. Anna, 54 years old when she passed. Salvatore's 1895 to 1929. 1895, yep. Not that old. Here's a interesting monument. Saratella. Gerardo and Mary. Now look at this picture. I believe that this is a picture in death. You tell me, but that looks like maybe in state in the coffin, picture turned 90 degrees. Maybe not, I don't know. It doesn't look, something about it just makes me think that as a post-mortem. It's nice that they're not forgotten. Some flowers here. See if we can see inside. I'll get my flashlight out because it looks like there are some pictures we can look at on that altar. It looks like a pair of two women there. Beautiful pictures. All right, let's work our way this way. We were in this general area when we were doing the Italian bride. That video, see if I can put that link up for you also if you're interested. We had started it with the Michael the Archangel statue on top of that mausoleum over there. It's quite dramatic. Oh, there's a couple of very interesting sculptures up ahead here. I've always found these very sad and intriguing. There's Looks like a young girl up here with her mother. But let's take a quick look here first. Woodman of the World Memorial. Look at that. Rocco Zito. Or Zito. 47 years. A large porcelain. Woodman of the World is a organization. They have provided a lot of tombstones for many, many years. Yeah, here, this girl, she died, it looks like at 13 years old. This is the mother. I don't know if you're going to be able to read it. It's even tough for me to read. I cannot even, it's just that it's a granite. This is Francis Fortino. It looks like March 26, 1905, January 13, 1919. 13 years old, unless my math is wrong. What an amazing picture. What a beautiful girl. Looks like she's in her communion. They didn't have a lot of photographs back then. They didn't have cameras running around. Sometimes that was the only picture of a person, was a wedding or a communion. It's another interesting. Antonio, his parents. Look at the mustache and the bow tie and everything was so classy in those days, right? And Zinga. An intriguing picture. 1887 and 1909. Distinguished gentleman here. Let you read that stone. There are some inscriptions. There's all kinds of inscriptions on there. So hit freeze, hit pause, and you can look at it. Angelina and Joseph. Angelina, 1977. So these are younger generation. This is an amazing statue. Well, I should say it's a bust. Let me get the camera on that. I'll see if I can zoom. Look at that. Sadly, this is what happens with the lawnmowers many times. And here we have the Rado family marker, the family plot marker. And you see there Rocco Sr. Rocco emigrated from Italy. You can see here 1859 to 1923. And the picture that you saw at the beginning is here at this grave with Rocco's son and Dominick and his wife Theresa. Rocco Rado was a farmer living in Baragiano, Italy, and he first came to America in 1896. And he settled in Chicago with an older son. Then, it might have been Joseph, we'll see on the other side. In 1903, he went back to get the rest of the family. And he died here at age 63. Let's take a look at the other side. Yes. This is Joseph. (1893 to 1936). So Joseph would be the youngest, because Dominick here, who you saw in the picture at the beginning, 1888 to 1933, does not, it looks like he made it to 45, although the obituary says 44. We'll have to do the math on that. Let me focus on the story. But that is the man who's in the picture taking a swig, and to his left, to our right, was his mother Theresa, who does not have an inscription here, but their daughter Lisa, granddaughter I believe, who has given us permission, thank you Lisa, to tell their story and do all this. She gave me the amazing picture. Both Dominick and Joseph had rather tragic endings, I believe. Well, we know that Joseph did. He worked as a fireman on the B&O Railroad, and he did have a World I draft card according to the census records. He was only 43 when he died. He died of multiple skull fractures as a result of a train accident. Now, this is reminiscent of the Casey Jones heroic story I did in Jackson, Tennessee, where he stood by the controls as the wreck unfolded. And let me tell you, there are no seat belts. It's just a big metal cab with lots of pipes and levers. I don't know any kind of crash, unless you jump out. You're not going to survive being thrown around in there. You can go look at pictures. He was found seated in the engine, and that engine had rolled nose first into the pit of the roundhouse. And Joseph was not married when he died. Rest in peace. Probably doing a heroic thing, trying to slow it down. Dominick here was at work when he died in 1933. The death certificate, if it can be found, if anyone can find it, maybe we can find out what happened. Lisa doesn't know, but it said that his death was sudden, so guessing it could have been an accident at work. He was a machinist at the automatic screw company in Chicago. I believe that picture that was taken was in 1923 of Dominick. I believe he was a little older than this picture when he was sitting right here with his mom. There are other Rados at the cemetery here, buried in other places. Rocco had brothers, Robert, Anthony, and Frank. And by the way, I believe that Robert had ties to Al Capone. He was on trial, Robert was, for racketeering with several others. So maybe we can help Lisa and do a little research and find out a little more on that. There are some links to Blogspot that the family has that I will put in the link. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. And at this time, I'm going to bid you farewell. I'm going to take a trip back in time I'm going to go back in time to pay respects with the family, to the family.